Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, welcome people to episode 180 of Dude and the Monkey. I am one of your co-hosts, Mark Foster, and as ever I am joined by...
Ian Loring, hello.
And this week we have another double review for you. We are going to talk about the girl on the train. We're also going to talk about Bloodfather. We're going to chat some what we've been watching, some trailers, a couple of questions, and probably a myriad of tangents that we will inevitably take you along with us on.
I've got my punk IPA.
Ian,
I'm ready to fucking rock. Let's do this.
Let's go. Is there anything before we get into trailers that we need to talk about?
You finished FIFA The Journey.
I did finish FIFA The Journey, yeah. It's good. I like the fact it's a game within a game, because I now feel like I've finished it, I can now start playing FIFA. Because that's basically all I've done on it. And I can now start playing FIFA. But, I enjoyed it while I was doing it. I think there should be a little bit more interaction within it. But, then again, I don't think it was a disappointment in any way. Once you get to the end, the ending does make you go, do you know what? I'm glad it's finished there, but I will play more.
Is there a cliffhanger?
There's not really a cliffhanger as such, but it ends. I'll say it ends because it's not a fucking film or anything like that. It ends with you playing the FA Cup, and I won the FA Cup, so I don't know what happens if you don't win it, but I won the FA Cup. And then you've still got this rivalry with Gareth Walker, the player that came up with you and all this.
So and is there, like, because I played the first few hours of it.
Yeah.
So, like, because they've got that bit on the aeroplane where it's just like, well, you two have got good team spirit, but you're shit at maths. 2 into 1 doesn't go. It's only one of you. And then from there, Gareth is a prick. Yeah. Does it ever change?
No, it doesn't at all. It gets worse. And as well, what happens is, I can't spoil it for you. So spoilers for The Journey if you've not played it, skip past about 2 minutes. So, when you go back from being on loan at the club that you're on in January, Gareth gets sold to your biggest rival.
Oh shit, okay.
Yes. So in my case, because I was at Liverpool, Gareth got sold to Manchester United. And then Gareth still continues to give you shit, like over Twitter, constantly. But you can't respond on Twitter, which is a little bit strange. But he continues to give you shit, going about how shit you're playing, which should be alright, and he's fine. But then when I played Man United, and Gareth Walker was playing up front for Man United, and I was playing up front for Liverpool, it did the little side-by-side bit, and it said, these two players, have been in hot streaks of forms, and this two can get one up on the other. And it came up and it said, Gareth Walker, games played, 26, goals, 4. Alex Hunter, games played, 24, goals, 23. And I just thought, well, I'm winning that. He's shit. And then it got to the FA Cup, it did the same thing again. And it gave your season, the amount of goals you got in the season, and mine was at 60. And it was at 9.
Oh, nice. So you play like the team that he's on in the FA Cup final?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And then, yeah, the cliffhanger is you're back in your apartment, and you're playing a game of FIFA with the Danny Wilson, the guy that you didn't get on with at first, but then you start at the trials. Then he was at the club that you got a loan on, and you've become friends now. Okay. And he's actually quite amusing in it. He becomes quite a good character in it, to be honest. And then you sat playing what is it for him, and your agent comes in, and he's like, congratulations, and you're there going, what are you on about? Like, put the TV on, and it's like, you're essentially getting called up for England, and then it just finishes there. And so it's a bit like, do you know what? There's a few things. One, that's quite cool, I like that, it did make me go, yeah, do you know what? And like I said to you, I hope they don't wait till the next FIFA. It should be a downloadable content. And if every 3 months you got another, maybe not as long as this one, so another like 5 hours, let's say. and it was a £5 in January, I'd pay that. And then you got one in May, another £5 for 5 hours, I'd pay that. And then on the next game, there's a bumper thing, and it's a tenner, and it's included in it. And then it did it like that. Because if you're waiting another year, it just seems, it seems too much. I'll stop giving a shit by now. But yeah, that was pretty cool, but it was a little bit like, do you know what? I was top scorer from my loan period in the Championship, and I was top scorer in the Premier League as well. Let's face it, England would have called me up by now. I'd have like 30 caps by now.
Yeah.
And I'd be the nation's fucking saviour. So that was, but it's cool. I liked it. It's a fun little game within a game. It's nice.
Nice. I currently don't have a games console. Who knows what might happen next week. Little postscript to this section, just while I'm editing the show. I bought an Xbox One S 3 days later. Yeah.
What trailers have you watched this week then?
Yeah, okay, so Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. I'm so far in, I can't even begin with how in I am. That trailer, that looks like fun.
Yeah, it does. It does look like fun. I must say, yeah.
I mean, fuck, that looks fun. It looks like they're actually, when they say the final chapter, at least with Mila Jovovich and Paul W.S. Anderson, sure, that probably will be the final chapter. So I think there will be a sense of closure there. And good on Mila Jovovich for getting her name at the top of the fucking billing before the title. In the trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
it is. The movie's practically called Mila Jovovich. The final chapter.
Yeah. Good on her. You know, and fair play. You know, we are going to do a special episode. I think we're still planning on with Noel when this comes out in January. We're going to do all 6 of them, and I'm looking forward to it. Even though I flat out, when I saw the 4th one, Afterlife, I think it was, flat out despised it. But who knows?
Was that one that used all the same cameras from Avatar?
Yeah, that was the proper. That was the trailer. 3D as fuck.
Yeah, that was actually in the trailer, wasn't it? As well, I think that they used the cameras from Avatar.
I think you're right. Yeah. So like that.
I remember you hating that.
Yeah, I like with a passion. Now, mate, who knows? By the way, incidentally, into fucking video game films, but at least we're transitioning. Assassin's Creed, I heard today on Twitter, 2 hours, 20 minutes long. Oh my god.
That's long.
Mate, I mean, like, that was just from somebody on Twitter, but Jesus. Anyway.
That wouldn't surprise me, though.
Yeah, but again, I mean, like, January, Christ, Assassin's Creed, Resident Evil, and Underworld. And I know Underworld's not a video game adaptation, but it may as fucking well be. Like, January's gonna be some vintage crock of rubbish, but hopefully kind of entertaining films, man. Like, I tell you what.
Yeah.
So Power Rangers, looks like Chronicle until like the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Can't it just be fun?
Yes. Thank you. That is what I was saying about 10 seconds in the trailer was, oh, why is it dark? Why is it bleak? Why is it go bleak Power Rangers? Why can't it just be fun? I don't get it.
I mean, a lot of this stuff I've said before that I don't have nostalgia for. I have nostalgia for Power Rangers like a motherfucker, right? GMTV on a holiday morning when they did their like kids programming and stuff, and like Mr. Motivator was presenting it and shit. I recorded episodes of Power Rangers in long play on VHS, man. And I wrote the fucking titles on the labels and stuff. And like my mum had to go around so many shops looking for the Green Ranger for me one Christmas, and it was fucking. I feel so bad for her. I kind of say I feel bad for her. She brings it up pretty much every single fucking Christmas. So no, you know what? I don't feel bad for her. It's been ammo for years.
Is it one of the Christmas stories? Every family has the Christmas story, don't they, that they try and make you feel bad about.
Oh, mate, to be fair, the Christmas story of my home is my dad coming over at Christmas Day and recording my mum my dad drunk, trying to get her to fucking talk about how shitty a mother she was. So, you know, that's that's one of my Christmas stories. So my mum tried, and like my mum wasn't a shitty mother, and my dad was an arsehole at that point. Like, God rest his soul, I suppose. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, Green Ranger. That's a Christmas story, sure. My mum reminds me about it all the time, and bless her, she's an arsehole, but I love her for it, so it is what it is. But please be fun, just be fun, I don't know, the little bit that we got of Elizabeth Banks kind of looks like she's got maybe the right kind of thing going on. Who knows?
She did, when it first came on, Elizabeth Banks kind of drops down, doesn't she? She's kind of almost like she's hovering above, isn't she? And I thought, who is that? Is that Parker Posey?
Yeah, man, yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, in that kind of role, Elizabeth Banks and Parker Posey are interchangeable.
Yeah, and then when it wasn't, when I looked and saw, it's not Parker Posey. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's Elizabeth Banks. Oh, that's fine.
It's like, Gem and Holograms, when Juliette Lewis still first turns up. I was convinced for about 20 seconds that was Parker Posey, and it was like, hang on, no, I'm not watching Josie and the Pussycats. It's not that film, even though it kind of is. It's Gem and Holograms. So, yeah, no, absolutely. So, yeah, there you go. John Wick Chapter 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course I'm on board on this.
It immediately made me want to watch John Wick again, which I actually think I'm going to tomorrow. I have John Wick on iTunes. It was like $4.99 a while back, and all over it. I'm looking forward to seeing his dog.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne's in it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. There's a great line of "Just give me a gun."
Yeah. I mean, we need more of that. People keep on asking me if I'm back. Well, yeah, I think I'm back. I need more. I need more. I need more, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it is. It's great. That's January or February, I think, is it? February?
Oh, man. Yeah. I want it. I want it. I wasn't even as hyped on John Wick as everybody else. But the fact that we're going to get more of that, and let's have some more of the Continental. I want more of that mythology. I want Lance Reddick in a Continental TV series or spin-off film.
I'd watch that.
I want the weekly adventures of the assassins who come in and out of the Continental with occasional appearances by John Wick. Need it. Need it.
And it's just Lance Reddick, and then just the occasional guest actor just kind of drops in on a weekly basis.
Straight up.
There's a fucking show. There is a show.
I would watch John Wick tonight if it wasn't for the fact that, ever so slight tangent, I'll be quick. I am in a privileged position of having an LFF press pass, so this is proper first world film Twitter problems. And I acknowledge that. The streaming service that they use does not work with iOS.
It doesn't now.
And doesn't use, you can't even use Google Chrome on iOS for it. I am being forced to use my shitty Chromebook, whose keyboard stopped letting me press the letter I after 2 weeks. I am being forced to use, and yeah, fine, I could claim on the warranty, it's fucking work, and I will one day. Shut up. I know you're fucking telling me to be quiet and get the warranty sorted out. I'm telling you, listener, you shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Anyway, so, fuck, I tell you what, man, 3 cans of Punk IPA have got me really hopped up tonight. That's an unintentional pun. Anyway. What the fuck was I saying? Fuck, this is bad. I tell you what, it's probably because I'm trying to eat my dinner while recording this, and I've literally had a chicken salad sandwich today, so I think it's gone straight to me, so apologies. But, so the only way I can watch their stuff on their streaming service is through this bloody Chromebook. And I don't like using the Chromebook, so literally, I need to watch an LFF film tonight, because I haven't watched enough. You know why? Because I've been pissing about playing bloody PlayStation 4 Slim and then regretting it. That's why. That's fucking why, Mark. That's why. This is therapeutic, this is. So tonight, I'm going to watch a film which I actually am embargoed about talking about, even though I haven't seen it yet, but I'm not allowed to mention it at all until it screens. When am I putting this up? Am I putting this up tomorrow? Do you know what? I'm not going to say anything because I might put this up tomorrow because I'm in London for a couple of days. So
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about it on the show next week. I can't even talk about this fucking film. But I'm going to watch it tonight.
And you've not seen it yet.
Yeah. And I haven't seen it yet. And
You're
I'm
not allowed to talk
tweet
about the thing
it.
you've not seen.
And I absolutely will not talk about it on WhatsApp.
No, you must not.
Even if I thought it was good, I'm not going to talk about it on WhatsApp to anyone. So there's that. There's that.
I look forward to not reading you talk about it on WhatsApp.
I'm not going to say a thing because I am umbongoed. Alright? So anyway, I would watch John Wick tonight if it wasn't for umbongoed.
Umbongoed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what else trailer-wise have you got?
I don't know. Stop asking me questions, Mark. Jesus.
Have you watched Patriots Day?
No. Wow, I'm terrible. No, how is it?
Alright, don't give much away. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like a film about the Boston Marathon bombings. But it's got a really good cast, and it looks like it's going to be a little bit heavier than something like Deepwater Horizon.
What inspirational song does it have in the background?
Star Spangled Banner played on piano.
Pretty
slowly. Really slowly.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. Ian, you forgot Get Out.
No, I didn't. You said, what else have you watched? And you said, have you watched Patriots Day? And I said, no, and then you talked about it. I didn't say I was done.
Go on then. Because you liked this trailer, didn't you?
Get Out looks fucking amazing.
It does look a lot of fun, doesn't it?
Even that trailer itself looks like it's had an awful lot of thought put into it. You know, and it looks so interesting.
Yeah, and it's fun that it's a guy stepping out of the comfort zone of what he's known for and doing something else.
And went to Blumhouse and said, I got this, and they said, you got this budget, do what the fuck you want. Jason Blum, he's my boy. He's my fucking boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's great that he's allowing that, and that film does look like a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know, just the whole kind of the editing and like the woman going no, and it keeps on cutting and then cutting back to her and cutting back. All over it. Look, just looks super interesting. I mean, Arthur Keanu, I'm very intrigued by what Jordan Peele does. The fact that he's written and directed this, very cool. It's looking like a good early 2017 treat, I must say. There's like a 30-second weird teaser thing for War for the Planet of the Apes, which
looks a little bit like those things that you get in places like the Range and holiday shops. You know, like those felt things where it's all black and there's white bits and you have to colour the white bits in. Looks a little bit like one of those.
It does. It absolutely does. Sorry, for some reason Trailer Addict just directed me to why DRC President Joseph Kabila must go after 15 years in power. We can't take it anymore because if we go along with this, there's no hope for us, says activist Bandai Mbubi. Something about the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I got to it from Trailer Addict. So I'm just going to press back, and we're back in the room. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yeah.
Sure, Javier Bardem is a bad guy who wants to kill Johnny Depp. Why not? Yeah. Please don't be 2.5 hours long.
It's going to be 2.5 hours long.
It totally is.
It's going to be 2.5 hours long. I mean, the weird thing is, Johnny Depp's not actually in the trailer for that, is he?
Nope.
Yeah.
maybe not a surprise at the moment. Maybe they're...
Yeah. Do you think that is... that they've quickly edited him out of it? Like, there was a shot at the end that he stood on top of something and he just goes, hello, or something like that, and they've gone, no, fucking cut it.
Yeah. No, totally. Yeah, I don't know. It's directed by the guys who did Kon-Tiki, and quite like Kon-Tiki, so it's kind of weird that they've gone from Kon-Tiki to this. I mean, apart from the fact it's based on water, you know. But, you know, Colin Trevorrow, I suppose, and, you know, we'll see. Why not? I mean, I don't know. It looks like they've spent a fair few bloody years doing this, and they delayed production and stuff. So hopefully they actually have a screenplay before they start filming.
Yeah.
So, you know, but who knows?
We shall see.
We shall see. So I'm done now, Mark.
A couple more then. Life on the Line. John Travolta stars in a disaster movie about linemen. So Americans who fix telephone lines.
I thought it was going to be a story about a football linesman who gets like targeted for death after a controversial decision.
Do you know what? It literally the fucking tension and the drama that this is trying to build up is as forced as that movie you have just pitched would be. But do you know what? I did watch it and go, this looks like shit. I'm gonna watch this. so it was that. And the trailer for the Jackie movie starring Natalie Portman, where she's doing a voice that's supposed to be Jackie Onassis, and it doesn't sound like her at all. But all the way through it, you're kind of going, oh my god.
She's getting buzz, man. She's getting buzz.
Oh my god, she's getting buzz because she's Natalie Portman. But you do get the feeling that all the way through it, everybody on set was biting their hand going, oh god, really horrible. Oh my god, could somebody tell her? No, we can't tell her. She literally is the fucking movie, and she's a bit touchy. Do you want to go and tell her that her voice is terrible? And everybody's just going, oh Christ. Oh god, no. I have a feeling that this is one of those ones that everybody thinks is going to be around for awards season, yet gets released, and then, you know, there's always that one film that just nothing happens with it. It just kind of sinks a little bit. And there's always one every year. There's around for award buzz, and then just doesn't happen because it's not quite that good. And also as well, this is a biopic, and I think it's about 80 odd minutes long. Which always kind of, for that kind of prestige movie and things like that, that sets off alarm bells because when they were set out to make Jackie, they didn't think that it was going to be an under 90-minute movie, let's be honest, did they?
Well, who knows, man? I mean, it's, Pablo Larraín.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the trailer. Have you watched the trailer for it?
No.
It's a shocking trailer. The movie might be great, but it's a shockingly bad trailer.
Okay.
It's awful, the trailer. It's the music cues that are in it don't land, and it's awkward to watch. I kept thinking, at what point does this become a Funny or Die trailer? And it just never does.
I've got the choice between he's done two films recently. His other one, Neruda, is there's an LFF press screening on it for it on Thursday, and I'm trying to decide between that or the Nicole Kidman and Dev Patel film Lion, which has been getting some decent buzz as well.
Yeah.
It's like the one Weinstein film this year, so they're kind of going all in for it. And I mean, like Pablo Larraín, he directed The Club, which I talked about a while back, which I wasn't a massive fan of. It was the paedophile priests, all the kind of.
Oh yes, of course was. Yeah, I remember you saying.
And I wasn't big into that, but I don't know. Like I've heard good things about Neruda. I think it's Gael Garcia Bernal. I think so that's a positive. But so it's buzzed about Gael Garcia Bernal film by director. I'm not massive on so far. Or Nicole Kidman and Dev Patel film, which kind of sounds bad on the face of it, but apparently is really good. I don't know which one to do. So yeah, I'll talk about whichever one I see next week. Maybe it's neither of them. Maybe I just get pissed instead. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Right, well that's trailers. So I'm gonna go and urinate. I'm gonna mute my mic while I'm urinating this time, and then we'll get into The Girl on the Train, directed by Tate Taylor, stars Emily Blunt, Hayley Bennett, Rebecca Ferguson, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, Edgar Ramirez, Alison Janney, and Lisa Kudrow crops up. So does Lauren Prepon for Blink and You'll Miss Her 2 or 3 times. So it's a very good cast, based on the very popular, as I understand, Paula Hawkins book, The Girl on the Train. It is the story of Emily Blunt's character, Rachel Watson, who is going through a bad time, we'll say. She's an alcoholic who has been left by her husband, who had an affair with, and remember, all spoilers all the time, guys, with his realtor, played by Rebecca Ferguson, and she rides the train to work, in inverted commas, every day, and passes their house, and has developed a bit of an obsession with the people who live 2 doors down, played by Luke Evans and Hayley Bennett. Mostly the Hayley Bennett character, Megan, who ends up going missing, and Emily Blunt's character may be implicated within that. We'll get more into the story as we go, because I don't want to fucking throw it all out there in the synopsis. But Ian, what did you think to The Girl on the Train? And before you start going, you haven't read the book, have you?
No, mate, I don't read.
No, I haven't either, but it's just, when I went with Becky, and Becky has read the book.
Do that cast again.
Emily Blunt, Rebecca Ferguson,
One.
Hayley...
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm just counting something.
Oh, Hayley Bennett, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, Alison Janney, Edgar Ramirez, and Lisa Kudrow.
Alright, out of that cast, there are 5 people that I suspected of wrongdoing in this film. Right, there's 5 people out of that cast. I think you maybe mentioned 7 or 8 names. This film, and I'm sure the novel, delights in just going, here's a red herring, here's a red herring, here's a red herring, here's a red herring, here's a red herring. What's left? Yeah, it's him. So, this film, if it wasn't for Emily Blunt, would essentially be, I think, direct-to-video-y kind of stuff.
The Loft.
It would, yes. It's very, very 90s. Okay, fair enough. Which I'm sure you love. I'm sure you're a fan of this film. I'm fucking sure. So, just that going in. Even though I bet you would have wanted a bit more erotic stuff. So,
we'll get into it.
Okay. So, yeah. I don't know. It just... Emily Blunt is really, really, really good. Like, she's really good. And I kind of think if the filmmaking around her was Gone Girl, I think she would be getting Oscar buzz. That it's not just means that she's not done herself any harm in terms of box office draw, because it's opened pretty well and it kind of shows that she can top line a film, and that is awesome. All about the Blunt. All about the Blunt. So, don't get me wrong there, she's great. Everything else around it, it kind of takes ages to actually get going. And when it does, it is just like, could it be this person? 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 When it's revealed, I think there's some actually kind of interesting emotional depth stuff going there. And I think that what Blunt's character has been going through and where her character ends up, I like. What I don't like, frankly, is kind of everything else around her. And I thought the film looked like shit, terrible. Just looked bad, and also tried to hide its twists in just incoherent filmmaking. Like, Yeah, you can't quite see that thing, can you? Because the camera's shaking around, and yeah, she's drunk, but kind of annoyed me. Anyway, forgive me, Mark, go on, what do you think?
Right. Well, to be honest, and as I've said before on this, I'm not one of those that thinks they're incredibly film smart and is a show off, but within the first 5-10 minutes, I kind of did go, it's Justin Theroux then. And every time anything came up, it was like, stop hinting at him, it's not him, it's Justin Theroux. Stop hinting at her, it's not her, it's Justin Theroux.
Yeah.
He's the one. He's the one who's killed her because he's having an affair with her. That's obvious.
It wasn't obvious to me, I'm going to say. I'll admit it wasn't obvious to me.
So, from that, I just thought that was it. So, all the way through it, I was kind of going, right, but you still, even if you think that you've worked it out, there's still a possibility you're going to be wrong. And the other bit there is, just because you've worked out, what you think is going to happen at the end of it, doesn't mean to say that you've worked out the journey. The journey is the majority of the thing. If all you've got is a reveal, and the journey's shit, it's shit. It's still going to be shit. The reveal is going to be, oh, it was him. Oh, that doesn't make sense. But there's that. The problem is with this movie is it's constantly, like you say, throwing up red herrings at you. And it constantly thinks it's got this fucking ace up its sleeve. Uh-huh. And the thing is, the ace isn't that fucking ace. And if you kind of know what it already is anyway, when it reveals it, you kind of go, I know. And then it's got nothing else, and it does look like shit.
Yeah.
As a movie, the thing is that and I've said this a million times when we talk about films that are adapted from books, is you don't review the book, you review the film. You don't review the adaptation, you review the film that is shown to you. Now, the strange thing is the book is set in London, whereas the film is set in around New York. And all I can think of there is so that they can have American actors, but there's only actually 2 American actors in kind of like the main cast, in Hayley Bennett and Justin Theroux, because Emily Blunt's English, Luke Evans is Welsh, and Rebecca Ferguson's fucking Swedish.
Yeah.
So that throws that out. So then you look at it and go, yes, but Britain's grey, so that's why it could be set in America. Yet this is so fucking grey and dingy. They've made it look so, like you say, it either looks, it looks a little bit like those 90s movies, those late 90s movies, or those early 90s movies that were just starting to be digital when digital still looked like shit. That's kind of how it looked, and it felt so, I was upset at how ugly it looked, because, and it's badly made, it's badly directed, it's not very nicely edited. The music, Danny Elfman's music is just feels like it was written for a different movie, and then he was offered this and he just went, yeah, I can do it, and then rang up and went, I've got the score, and they went, in a week? That seems quick, Danny. And he's gone, oh yeah, I really got into this film. And it's just, he went, that'll do. There you go. The cast, I think is very good. There's a few points where I thought, ooh, this is a little bit like, how big a fucking slice of ham do you want on this? But I think that's kind of more the director and the camera work than it was actually her delivery. Rebecca Ferguson's completely underused.
Yep.
Luke Evans plays stock Luke Evans role number 2.
He was fine though. Like he's not as bad. It's just
he's fine. But the problem is with this movie is there's not a single likeable person in it.
I gotta say,
they're all arsehole.
Can I just say, Hayley Bennett, I thought was flat out terrible. The psychiatrist scenes where she's and maybe it's in the direction, but where she's like constantly moving around and then sitting down slowly and she's trying to be all seductive.
She's the worst fucking flirt and seductress in the world.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be that when you look like Hayley Bennett. You know, it's a bit like, Edgar Ramirez is quite literally there going, done. He at points, he looked like he was 2 steps off going, could tell her I'm gay.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd work.
Yeah, they have zero chemistry. Like,
Yeah,
zero chemistry.
Which is strange, because Hayley Bennett is an incredibly beautiful woman, and Edgar Ramirez is an incredibly handsome man.
He's a good-looking dude, man. Yeah.
They are both sexy people in a movie that in its trailers and its TV spots was talking about how sexy it was, and I watched it going, this isn't sexy. This is just a little bit... I feel bad
no,
for these people.
It's people having, like, dirty little quick fucks up against a something or other.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it going, none of these people seem like they're enjoying their lives.
Yeah.
And that is one of the core issues with it. And a thing, and to my issues, and I'll talk about some bits I did like about it as well. When at one point I'm looking at it going, do you know what? Drunk Emily Blunt's hair is a lot better than sober Emily Blunt's hair. When she gets her shit together for like a few times, her hair looks like crap. And genuinely, that was going through my brain in it. And when that's going through your brain in a movie like this, it means that you have given up all fucking hope of giving a shit. Why? Answer me this, right?
That's amazing. Yeah.
Emily Blunt goes at the police station to make a complaint against Luke Evans because he physically assaulted her, right? I'll come to that bit in a second, right? But for that, he comes in. Why does Alison Janney take her in the bathroom?
Yeah.
To talk to her.
All right, I'll take your statement now.
I'll take your statement. But first of all, I just need to wash my hands. It's like, that seems like, why have you taken her in there? But also, why does Luke Evans need to get physically violent with her? He could have just been pissed off with her. You didn't need to take him to that point, because the mystery already about whether... Because Hayley Bennett actually says to Edgar Ramirez, I lie. I lied to my husband. I lied to my friends. I lied to you. And then she starts telling about the fact that Luke Evans' character is abusive. Now, at that point, there's the mystery of, well, is he abusive or is she just bullshitting? And then you still got that little bit of what is it, but then it makes it seem more like he is by him grabbing her by the throat, essentially. And it's like, do you know what? He didn't need to be that guy. Because you're about to make Justin Theroux that guy. So, why does this movie make everybody fundamentally a bad person and flawed? It doesn't need to. There's no good guy in it at all. Which is really quite sad. There doesn't need to be.
I'd maybe say, I mean, like, Emily Blunt, yes.
Isn't a good guy in it, or is she?
Well, I mean, like, to be fair, she's psychologically abused and basically becomes an alcoholic because she's almost brainwashed by her husband. I'd maybe argue that point.
But I still think that then you're hiding behind the fact that she's an alcoholic. She's still a bit of a shit person as well. She doesn't seem... It's taken a little bit of a nudge, and there is the psychological abuse thing, but she's still aware when she goes to Luke Evans to see him that she's done something wrong, that she shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, yes, but to be fair, it's in an adult mindset.
It is, but I still don't think you could say that she's a good person.
I think that's maybe a little harsh. I do get where you're coming from, but in the big scheme of things, she's been kind of manipulated into being that way. I mean, like, in the end of the day, her husband essentially turned her into a drunk because he wanted to fuck someone else.
That is the bit of the movie where it kind of made me go, this is boring.
Yeah,
because do you know what was more interesting? Do you know what was a more interesting movie? Up to that point. And I still thought at that point, remember, that Justin Theroux was a bad guy because I still thought he's killed Megan because he's been fucking Megan, so he just can't keep his fucking dick in his pants. I still think he's an arsehole. But there was a good angle of flipping things on their side of it being the woman, the female, she'd been the aggressor toward the relationship, and not that she'd forced him into an affair. I still thought he was an arsehole for having an affair, but it's just that she was the broken person, and not like a usual broken little woman kind of thing. She'd broken the way that usually films portray men as broken as. And then it wasn't. It was that this guy had managed to manipulate her into that, and this same guy had managed to manipulate Rebecca Ferguson into staying, despite the fact that she knew that all he was going to do was just fuck everybody. But at least he was with her, and it brought the whole fucking thing down to just being a little bit sad, really.
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do agree with that. It's just, the film either needed to be classier or it needed to be trashier.
Yes, and it wasn't either. I would have happily taken it to be a lot fucking sleazier. And I'd have enjoyed it a lot more. Because the problem is, the one thing that this film isn't, that it is fucking aching so hard to be, is Gone Girl. And it's not.
No, I mean, it doesn't.
At all.
It does, I mean, it. Yeah, I mean, I rewatched Gone Girl this week, like, because I've been wanting to rewatch Gone Girl for a while, and I just figured it's kind of appropriate, it's time. And that film is technically amazing. Yeah. Every single performance is spot on, and it manages, and I'm sure this is in the book, but basically giving the twist away like 50 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is like a journey after that. And then the destination is this weird Affleck kind of actually is attracted to Rosamund Pike but doesn't want to admit it, so he's saying it's because of the kid. You know, and like that kind of stuff. Like, it is such a deliciously fucked up ending. But subtly so. And I mean, it's brilliant.
It is, and that is why Rosamund Pike's character in that movie is my favourite character in films for the past 10 years.
Nice.
Because she's just magnificent.
But I mean, it's just like, and but it's got the trash element as well, like the killing of Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, it's got to be the highest grossing film that has a gory neck slit.
Yeah, it does. It does. It is the only film only film of that kind that has a human fucking sex toy.
Yeah.
You know, his death throws are getting her off, which is in the most physical way they can. It is beautiful. The problem is, The Girl on the Train doesn't have anything like that. It has Haley Bennett being fucked up against a tree by Justin Theroux.
Yeah,
and it has a weird cabin thing with a guy called Mac. It's the more I think about it, the more I look at it and go, this was who? Because Bex has read I've not read the book. Bex read the book. So the book is a bit shitty, to be honest. It is just trash, but not even good trash. It's just a bit shitty. So it just, I don't get how all the people involved didn't halfway through this kind of go, this is a bit shit, isn't it? I think they thought they were making a better movie. Maybe not Haley Bennett and Ramirez, and to an extent, you could also throw maybe Theroux in there, because he has a habit of cropping up in just fucking weird things.
It was very odd to see Justin Theroux in this.
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Very, very odd. That was.
So where are you with it? In the case of let's get on to a different film. I think we could keep going. I could keep going on this movie, but I'd still be getting to the same point.
I know. I mean, I am touching cloth, and only because of Emily Blunt.
And I am touching cloth only because I'm watching it going, I think I might watch that again just to see what I think on a second watch.
I won't watch this film again.
I will. Just to see what it's like on a second watch. So I'm also touching cloth. Now, what's interesting is we had 10 votes for this. Definitely not shit, 40%. Touching cloth, 30%. And shit, 30%.
Okay, yeah.
Which is really interesting. Which just means that everyone was kind of a little bit about it. So yeah, it strikes me it won't make anyone's top 20 of the year, but it also won't make anyone's bottom 20.
Yeah, man, no, I mean, it's not that level, you know,
No.
like, frankly, the level of acting in it overall is too good for it to be, like, worst of the year contention.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, it is kind of bobbins.
Yes, it is. And right, well, getting on to our second feature review, Bloodfather, a French action thriller starring Mel Gibson, directed by Jean-François Richet, and written by some people. It stars Mel Gibson, Erin Moriarty, Diego Luna, Michael Parks, William H. Macy, and a whole load of kind of character actors that you've seen
Was that
around.
Dale Dickey?
It was Dale Dickey, wasn't it, as well, yeah. In the most Dale Dickey role you can get.
Yeah.
She's great in that role. So Dale Dickey is a fantastic character actress. She's great at doing what she does.
She's got that one character and she aces it.
Yeah, she does every time. It's like, oh, we need this craggly old South woman who just looks a little bit like she's living on a trailer park, but like she could kick the fuck out of you. Dale Dickey. Yeah. But also, well, that could be that, or she could be the same character in a comedy and works in a diner. Mm-hmm. Same character, but it works. And I still adore her from My Name is Earl, where she was Patty the Daytime Hooker.
Agreed.
So yes, Bloodfather. Essentially, it is...
Dude and a monkey catnip.
Yeah, it is. It's Mel Gibson, plays an ex-con. He's come out, he's a recovering alcoholic, he's been sober for 2 years. He hates being sober, but accepts the fact that he has to be sober. And he's running a tattoo shop, out of a trailer. His best mate and his sponsor is played by William H. Macy, who he seems to both like and hate at the same time. And he's been estranged from his daughter for a number of years. His daughter then rings him because she's in trouble with the cartels, and she says that she needs his help, and she goes to him, and then all of a sudden the cartels start chasing her, so he's got to go back to that life, and he doesn't like it because it's gonna break his parole violations. Ian, Bloodfather.
Loved it.
Gosh, you did.
I mean, we've got a question about this later as well, but it's,
yeah.
You know, I mean, Gibson,
he's a questionable character, isn't he?
He's a fucking horrible human being. But I think you sometimes do have to separate the person from...
We'll get to that question later, yeah.
Totally. So, separating it, this is the best that Gibson has been on screen in fucking years. Like, Get the Gringo was good.
Yep.
But, what the fuck was that? What was the other title for that? It was Get the Gringo in the US. I think it was called something.
And it was My Summer Holiday or something crazy like that, wasn't it?
Summer Vacation.
How I Spent My Summer Vacation, that was it, yeah.
I mean, he was good in that, but this is full bore, badass, pissed off. Like, genuinely could not give a fuck Gibson. And, I mean, it's spectacular. There are moments in this film which will be up there in my moments of the year. Just how pissed off he is when his trailer gets attacked. Yes. And it's like an annoyance. It's almost like fuck Nate's Door are playing that music way too loud. It's that kind of annoyed.
I'm going to say now, same, loved it. Yes, but let's get to that scene then. Let's talk about that scene. We're talking about it now because that scene is magnificent.
Right, so.
Yeah. Yeah, well, essentially what's happened there, to give people context, is his daughter's now there. 3 of the hoodlums, cartel hoodlums, have come to his door, and they know his daughter's there, but she isn't in sight. He's just sat on the porch, basically saying to them, "Go away," because they're jokingly saying, "Give us a tattoo."
Fuck off, you know?
Yeah. And then he turns round and they say, "Don't you turn your back on me," and he just slams the door. And then there's a great moment where they're banging on the door and he turns on his daughter and goes, "I'm gonna be so fucking pissed off if they dent my door." and then he's angry when they start shooting it and then one of them puts their hand in and he stabs him in the hand and he says the line, "Yep, there it goes, there's a parole violation, that's aggravated assault, I'm going to get the blame for that."
And it's just like, and then he kind of storms off down the corridor in his trailer.
As it's just been shot. At that moment, you're watching it, and yes, Mel Gibson is a terrible human, right? Can we put that to the side for the moment while we talk about the rest of the movie? And we'll talk about that later when we answer a question, right? He's a terrible person, but at that moment, you go, Mel Gibson is so above this, but he's not acting like he's above this. He's acting like he is exactly supposed to be there. But he's so much better than everything in this movie. But he's on board.
Yeah, no, he's fully in. And
at that moment I was watching it going, this movie is going to be magnificent as long as Mel Gibson is on screen.
Exactly. But I think there's other stuff that is kind of fun. Like Diego Luna,
yeah.
I like how at the start he's actually quite threatening, and when he comes back into it towards the end, he is a bit of a pussy.
Yeah, he is.
Like when Diego Luna calls Mel Gibson, and he's all like fucking like, "Right then, old man, you're gonna fucking do what I'm telling you to do," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I know the fuck you are. Yeah, your uncle in Juarez. Yeah, he doesn't like you very much, does he? One call when that Sicario by you is gonna fucking put a bullet in your head." I just the Diego Luna's like silent reaction to that is incredible.
Yeah, and it's just, "I'll ring you back in 10 minutes." Okay, "No, you won't. You'll let me speak to my daughter now." And Diego Luna literally goes, "Shit," and just hands the phone over.
I mean, that's the thing, and also maybe moment of the year so far for me. You think Michael Parks has gone out of the film, and then Mel Gibson goes back to his place, takes a load of shit, and then Michael Parks just says, "I don't think you'd have the balls to come back," and like Mel Gibson just fucking shoots him and walks off.
Just literally go, "Fuck off."
That's exactly it.
In the head. And it's just, you look at it going, I get the feeling that Mel Gibson, this is how he'd act in all of these situations.
Yeah. I don't know. It is terrific fun. It really is. And, the ending is insanely. Of course he's going to fucking die. Of course he is. Of course he is. It would have been more interesting if he didn't, to be honest. But that's fine. I think Erin Moriarty is okay.
Yeah, I think she's perfectly fine. She's good.
Yeah, I mean, she's all right. She's obviously in her early to mid 20s, and she's playing 17, and it's a bit like, oh, really? I'm going to have a look up how old she is, and
she's 23.
She's just 23. Okay, so what? She would have been 21, 22. So yeah, okay, fine. So yeah, I think she's okay. But I mean, it's got some good character actors here, man. I mean, Dale Dickey, Michael Parks, William H. Macy.
Parks is underused a little bit, I think.
Underused.
Yeah, there's a great scene where Michael Parks and Mel Gibson are having an argument, and you've got Gibson's doing his shouting bit, and Michael Parks is doing his calm delivery of everything, but being quite forceful with it, and you're watching going, this is brilliant. No. This is brilliant. Why isn't this scene 25 minutes long?
Exactly. Yeah, even though, and it's another example of someone chews out Mel Gibson, and Mel Gibson just completely turns it on its head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Parks is basically like looking at kind of like extorting him, and he's just like, "You're fucking pathetic. Look at you. I'd want to kill you, but you've even robbed me of that because you're so pathetic." And it's, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's brilliant. absolutely straight down the line knows what it is and just does it.
And it gets it, another one great thing, it gets in, it gets its job done, and it gets the fuck out. This is under 90 minutes long, this movie. There's not an ounce of fat on this movie at all. And Gibson is so much fun in it. We watched it going, oh god, he's so fucking charismatic. And I really wish I wasn't liking him in it, but I am so fucking much. It's brilliant. I don't think there's a great deal to talk about with it, because it literally is Mel Gibson is just shouting at people for a lot of it.
Agreed. Sorry, I've been spending an hour trying to eat this fucking food. I really need to eat before the podcast. I am super definitely not shit on it.
I am definitely not shit, and this will make you feel good as well, Ian. Definitely not shit. 86%. Touching cloth 0%. Shit 14%.
Whoever that person or people was, well, come on now.
It's one of those. If you're not a sort of person who likes these type of movies, you will not like it. But if you're on board with this type of movie, it is catnip for you. Yeah. So Ian, go on then, what have you been watching this week?
Okay, so I don't have too much actually, because God, fucking hell. Yeah, okay, we're like an hour in. Okay, no worries. So, talked about Gone Girl. Ride Along 2, which is fine. I like the first Ride Along. Yeah. I like this one.
I liked the first Ride Along, to be honest. Yeah, it was perfect entertaining.
Yeah, this one, same. It's fine. Ken Jeong's in it. It kind of feels like isn't his moment past, but you know, yeah, whatever. But, I mean, I don't know. It is kind of more of the same, but I'm not exactly chomping at the bit for another one. But if there was another one, I'd watch it. So there you go. Yeah. Serviceable 90 minutes or so. I rewatched Kung Fu Hustle. Which is on Netflix.
Is that?
Yeah.
I might give that a rewatch actually, because I haven't watched that since it came out.
Yeah, same. That flick is fun. It makes no sense. I mean, like, Stephen Chow's character arc is mental. It's wants to be a bad guy, realises maybe he's not a bad guy, becomes the epitome of everything that is good and holy about the world through some sort of butterfly-esque resurrection. That's his arc, and it's mental.
It is weird.
The cartoony kind of stuff, I'm on board with. I think the film does enough to kind of say the fact that it's in a skewed reality that you kind of get on board with that. I mean, the fight sequences are really good. I don't know, it's just, there is absolutely zero substance to it. And there are moments in the film where it kind of feels like it is actually trying to reach for something. But no. But what is there is a great deal of fun. So, yeah, Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah.
Give it a rewatch. And I've only actually got one other thing to talk about, because I was playing PlayStation and regretting my time playing PlayStation. And it's an LFF film, so this is Zoology.
Oh, yeah.
ZOOLOGY. So, set in contemporary Russia, centres on a woman who works as a person who basically orders supplies for a zoo, and very matter-of-factly goes to the doctors and says, I woke up one morning and found this. What is it? It's a tail. And the doctor's like, well, we need to get that x-rayed. She goes to the radiologist. The radiologist, does the x-ray. And so begins a relationship between a woman with a tail and the radiologist at her local hospital. All the while, she's having conversations with people in the local area, and people in the local area are talking amongst themselves about a mysterious person who has a tail that seems to cause bad luck and strife for everyone that they encounter, but no one knows what they look like, and it's all like Chinese whispers. And this woman is really, really nice, and she lives with her mum and an old cat. But she finds a lease of life through this radiologist, and it just so happens that she has a tail. And the tail doesn't really have anything to do with it, apart from a few scenes where it's a bit of a plot point. And her relationship with the radiologist ends in an interesting way, I'll say that. And I really don't know what to think of it. I need to write a review, and I'm still processing it. I watched it last night, and if it's a commentary on something, I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it kind of feels like it is. But I don't know what of. So I don't know whether it's just a weird realist fantasy tale of a woman who grows a tail in Russia, or whether it's trying to say something about Russian society.
It could be either, but you're not sure which one it is.
I'm not entirely sure. And I enjoyed it. It's very short. It's like 85 minutes long, and I'm glad of that. And the ending is, yeah, kind of the ending I expected. It was going to be like 10 minutes from the end, and that's fine. And I quite like the humdrumness of it all. Like, the doctors don't really seem to react to the fact that she's got a tail. There's a bit of a running thing where she's trying to get an X-ray, but the doctor's going, it's blurred, you're going to have to get another one. She's like, are you fucking serious? Like, I've got a tail. Can you not just deal with the fact I've got a tail? And there you go. That feels like it might be commentary on something.
Yeah. The bureaucraticness of everything,
the bureaucracy of Russia.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about that. So...
It may be one of those ones where it doesn't translate over because of the societal shifts that you have.
It's like, if there was a Russian version of The Guardian, I'm sure they'd have a really in-depth thing about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
there isn't a Russian version of The Guardian, I'll guarantee you that.
But there's not. So I suppose I'm going to have to wait until it gets a VOD release or theatrical release over here, and then I can read about what it meant.
In The Guardian.
Probably in The Guardian.
Yeah.
Because I haven't got a fucking clue what it meant. But I quite enjoyed it.
Well, there you go.
By the time this episode's up, it would have finished its screenings at LFF. So it might... I don't think it's got distribution over here yet, so you may never see it. This might be... so, you know, hey. But Zoology. Interesting. Haven't got a clue what it meant, but I quite enjoyed it while it's on. It's got a really, really nice scene where the main character, who basically has not had love in her life, like, ever, and she's finding it with the radiologist guy, Peter, and they're singing and dancing in a club, and he's trying to get her to, like, dance and whatnot, and as the song goes on, she gets out of the shell more and more, and by the end she's jumping about all over the place, and it's lovely. And it comes at a point in the film where you're just like, I just want her to be happy. And then she is, for a moment, and it's lovely. So there you go. The lead in it, she's very good. Haven't got a clue what it meant.
Have fun writing that review then.
Yeah, I'm struggling, and I'm sure the quality of the review will bear that out.
Cool.
I need to get to 400 words. How the fuck do I get to 400 words?
Explain the reasons for why you don't understand
What can I say in 4 words that would usually only take 1?
I would like a sandwich because I'm hungry.
There you go.
Rather than would you like a sandwich? Yes.
Yeah, I'm done, but I am doing LFF next week, so I know we're doing our Da Vinci Code trilogy special,
Yep.
but I'm going to have some LFF stuff to talk about as well, so yeah.
Cool. Right, I'll go through mine then. I rewatched the first Largo Winch movie, also known as The Heir Apparent Largo Winch, also known as Largo Winch, The Assassin's something, and also known by about another 15 different names, so it's a strange one. Have you ever seen the Largo Winch
I've
movies?
got a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Largo Winch, they're French films based on a Belgian comic book called Largo Winch, about a character called Largo Winch. Right now, he is the heir to a business empire known as the W Group, but the Nero Winch, his father, essentially has adopted him in secret, so nobody knows about Largo. So that when everyone thinks that he doesn't have an heir, secretly he's been teaching Largo how to be his heir.
I'm sorry, breaking
all these
news.
years
I'm
in
so
secret.
sorry, breaking
and then
news.
Nero Winch is murdered, and Largo essentially is activated.
Mark, I have breaking news.
What?
This can't be true. The Hollywood Reporter. Disney's live-action Aladdin enlists Guy Ritchie to direct.
Oh, I fucking hope that's true. I will watch the shit out of a live action Aladdin directed by Guy Ritchie. You steal my fucking plans?
What the fuck? It will keep many of the musical elements of the original.
Yes!
Oh my god, yeah, he's in negotiations.
Oh my god, this is gonna be fantastic. Oh, can you imagine who's gonna be cast in that?
All day long, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. Just have my money.
Sorry, I just.
Yeah, no, that will, yes, I will be watching that I hope that happens. Yeah, Largo Winch essentially is sub-Bond fun.
Okay.
It is so obviously just a bit Bondy, because, Largo Winch, essentially what it is, there's a conspiracy, going on, because his father's been murdered, and then there's this other, Croatian guy who is trying to take over the business, but then the business is trying to buy itself out, and everybody is shady apart from Largo, and so he has to keep on bouncing around all of these exotic locations, getting into scrapes, whilst trying to find these shares and keep himself out of jail and all this lot, and it's very entertaining. There's a sequel actually called The Burma Conspiracy, which stars Sharon Stone in it, which essentially is more of the same, but even more fun as well. So I'll be watching that later. But Largo Winch, it's on Netflix, at the moment. And it's fun. You could quite easily either watch it on the train down to London or on the way to work and on the way back from work. You could easily watch it like that. And it's fun. It is quite a lot of fun. But the sequel, The Burma Conspiracy, is better than this one.
Okay.
And it's quite a budget. It was like $40 or $50 million. So, it's got a bit of a budget behind it as well. Cool. Yeah. Rewatched Jacob's Ladder. The Adrian Lynn.
Hang on, wrong headphones.
Oh,
sorry, I bloody I got two pairs of iPhone earphones here. One that has the lightning connector, and one that has the ones that are actually plugged into my fucking speakers. Oh my god, having lightning connector headphones is maybe not the best bloody idea Apple ever had. Anyway, sorry mate, go on.
Yeah, I rewatched Jacob's Ladder.
Sweet. Yeah, okay.
And it's one of those strange movies where after I finish watching it, I just go, that's a really fucking great movie. And then a few months after, I kind of go, I forget how good it is. And it goes down again. I don't even think it's a bad movie, but then it's only when I'm watching it and you're going, this is fucking great. It's a very 90s movie. It's grimy and it looks a bit icky and it's all over the place. But it's as a psychological horror, I do think it's certainly up there with things like Angel Heart and that kind of ilk of movies, certainly. And it's got a great central performance from Tim Robbins in it. But yeah, it's fantastic. It really is. But really difficult to find.
Really?
Yeah, I just assumed that it would be on a streaming service, and that's the thing is that's the weird thing is a lot of the times I'll go, oh, I fancy watching this, and I'll look on a streaming service and I'm like, oh, it's not there, it's not on that. And out of 3 or 4 streaming services I've got, it's not on. I'll look on iTunes and go, if this is lower than £7, I'm buying it. Oh, it's £8.99. I'm not paying £8.99. I've got a DVD upstairs. It's one of those. It's a little bit irksome that. Watched The Blackcoat's Daughter, also known as February, which is on iTunes at the moment.
Yeah,
on iTunes, on
how's
Netflix.
this?
A little bit boring, to be honest. Which I was. The problem is there's some really good bits in it and some really good scenes in it. There's a genuinely brilliant scene in it where Emma Roberts' character, who is she's essentially like she's a runaway patient from a hospital, and you get the feeling that it's from a mental hospital at this point in the movie. It's not confirmed, but you do have an idea that it is. And James Remar and Lauren Holly have picked her up because James Remar saw her in the train station or bus station, and essentially was just concerned about her, and so had kind of taken her. Yes, we can give you a lift. Where are you going? She said where she was going. He said, oh, we can give you a lift to there. And he's just really being quite nice to her. And you get the feeling that there's something either a little bit off to it, or he's just nice. He's just like one of those nice guys. And then Lauren Holly basically turns around and confirms that she's sat in the car with her because they've got to leave the motel that they're staying at, because there's bad weather coming, and if they don't leave now, they won't get to where they're going to. And so James Marr's sorting bits out in the motel, and he says to Emma Roberts' character, go and sit in the car with his wife, who's played by Lauren Holly. And she turns around and basically tells you that it's because, and you already know this, but tells her that you remind him of our daughter, and our daughter died. And the daughter is somebody else that you're seeing in part of the film, in another part of it, and these two stories are running concurrently, but they're not set in the same time frame. And that scene is fantastic. Lauren Holly is basically giving a story of how her daughter died and what all this lot. And it feels, the way it's delivered and the way it's shot and the tone of it and everything, it feels like something quite literally lifted out of sort of 90s Lynch, and it feels like that, where it's overbearing and it's threatening, but essentially it could just be what it is that is being said. And Lauren Holly delivers it in a very good way, but the problem is a lot of the other story bits around it just feel a little bit ploddy and a little bit like when it's going somewhere, and you are trying to work out where it's going, and it is quite difficult to, I didn't work out where it's going, but I don't think a lot of people will work out where it's going. I wasn't trying to outsmart the movie, is what I'm saying. I was happy that I didn't quite know what was going to happen. But when he eventually got to what was happening, and I won't give it away because it's quite a new movie and it's not our feature review, I kind of went, right. It does suffer from that thing of horror movies or psychological thriller things where it just seemed to end, and it's like, do you know what? You've built a lot, and that's the payoff. So it just felt a little bit underplayed there. But in terms of the acting, the performances are all solid. It's 93 minutes long, but it felt longer. It felt like I was watching it for about 2 hours. And not in a good way either.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fucking recommend, okay.
So I was a little bit disappointed, but I thought it was going to be better than just generic, straight to what is it, kind of horror-y elements. But it wasn't really. It was a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest. Onto a movie that wasn't a disappointment. A very strange one that took me by surprise. I went to see Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children at the cinema because Isabel wanted to go and see it. So I always say, if there's something you want to go and see at the cinema, tell me and we'll go. Because she had a habit of saying, I really wanted to see that. And I'm like, well, why don't you tell me when it was on the fucking cinema when it gone? Yeah. So we went to see Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I don't like Tim Burton films. I liked Tim Burton movies up to about 1996 and Mars Attacks. And then from there, I think he's just made Tim Burton parody movies, essentially. And they all look like shit because he stopped using effects and physical effects and started using computer-generated effects. And rather than using them to tell his story was the effects and everything around it. And it got tedious and boresome, to be honest. Alice in Wonderland looked like shit. China Foxtrot's Valley looked like shit. Whereas things like Mars Attacks look fantastic. His Batman movies, are great Tim Burton Batman movies. But then just the rest of it all just feel like the same movie. And I was worried that Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children might end up falling into that. But it doesn't. There's great use of it's not a technical or fucking nightmare, like some of his, like for instance, like the Alice in Wonderland movies were. The characters aren't irritating. They're quite charming, in it. Eva Green is perfectly cast, in the movie. Isabel Field feels a little bit hammy, but you kind of get the idea that he's supposed to be. Sam Jackson is enjoying the shit out of being in this movie. And it feels like Burton, the movie Burton should have been making for the past fucking 20 years. And it was so nice to be taken on this fucking journey by somebody who constantly gets spoken about as a visionary director. And the problem is, he is a visionary director. It's just his visions have been shit for 20 years. Whereas this is polished, it's nice, like I say, it's charming. It's, all the characters have their own special place. They're not too irritating, they're not too full of affectations. And it really is a lot of fun to be taken on this ride with. And even when bits don't kind of make sense, you go in, do you know what? That doesn't make sense. But I frankly don't give a shit because it's so much damn fun that I don't care. And when he does break out the big CG effect in it, it has a point. It's not just, oh, look what I can do. It's, look what I'm doing. And it's more that. And it's a great family entertainment movie that I was really glad that I went to see at the cinema, which is a great kind of testament to cinema.
Oh, cracking! Oh, that's good to hear.
I genuinely had a fantastic time with it. It's just over 2 hours long. I could have watched it for another 20-25 minutes quite easily.
Okay, ace. That sounds brilliant.
And I went into it with a little bit of trepidation of going. Problem is, I like the trailer, but I also know that I'm going to watch a Tim Burton movie and they haven't worked for me. I don't understand why people have still been praising him for all these years when I don't think he's been in 20 years. He now has, and it is a really solid if this isn't on one of my when we do our top 5 surprises of the year, if this isn't in that top 5, I will be gobsmacked. Because I had that much fun with it.
Very cool, man. If I didn't have so much fucking shit on at the moment, I think I'd go and check that out. But I'm glad to hear it's good.
If I knew you, if you weren't going to LFF this week, I'd be saying, I would go and watch it. Because if for any reason it's still on in like 3 weeks' time and it's on, and you look at it and go, ooh, maybe. Go.
Sweet, okay, cool.
Because, yeah, the creature creation as well is fantastic. It's just a great movie. I'd be very surprised if you don't really dig it, to be honest.
Alright, nice one.
And yeah, that is saying something from me, because Burton has irked me for years. So yeah, that's it. That was the last one I've got. So, questions. Steve Dixon, at the Great SD. What things do you not get? For instance, he's decent enough, but I do not get the hype and love for Idris Elba.
I think that's fair.
And that's fair. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, he's decent enough. He's alright. But then when people people constantly keep doing it and keep saying, why can't he be the next Bond? Because Idris Elba is fine. But he's Idris Elba in everything.
I'd have David Oyelowo as Bond over Idris Elba, to be honest.
I would happily have David Oyelowo as Bond. Absolutely. I think he'd make a solid Bond.
Yeah, that would be great fun. I get that.
But yeah, Idris Elba. Who else don't I get? Well, I don't get the Wes Anderson thing. I just don't. I know you disagree. Most people disagree with me, but I just don't. I don't get it. It's just make a fucking coffee table book of nice fucking interior design, and I don't have to sit through your movies. That'd be mine. Just don't get it. Do you know another one I don't get? Angelina Jolie, don't get it. She's not a good actress. She's not attractive. She comes across as a terrible person, and she seems unstable.
Fucking hell. God, there was one on the fucking tip of my tongue then as well. Fuck. Who the fuck was it? Really well respected, kind of like art housey kind of guy. Fuck.
Ooh, director or actor? Jarmusch?
No, foreign language.
Gus Van Sant?
No, foreign language.
Oh, foreign language.
Fucking Kim Ji-woon.
Laz? Kim Ji-woon? Oh, yes. Yeah. I can see why he wouldn't get people.
What? Because I Saw the Devil, I wasn't big on. What the fuck else? Hang on, no, did he do The Last Stand? Oh shit, no, it's not him. Fuck, who is it? Oh, he's South Korean as well. Shit.
It's not Park Chan-wook. It's not Boon Jong-ho. Yeah.
Maybe he's not South Korean. Fuck.
We've established it's not Kim Ji-woon.
It's not Kim Ji-woon. Even though I Saw the Devil, I think is very overrated.
I liked I Saw the Devil.
That's what I have to say to that. Shit, well, I'm out. Alright, don't worry, move on.
Next one is Rick Kidd, at Rick J. Kidd. As Gibson is getting praise, is it possible to separate someone's performances from their character issues? Should it be? It's a strange one, this one.
Yeah, because you have to, because there's a lot of people in Hollywood who are dickheads, and I know there are varying degrees, but...
Yeah, of dickheadness within it, because you've got, for instance, Gibson, who has had some quite strong views on things. And the problem is, he has strong views, and he's clearly a terrible person, but a man can insult people like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you're terrible, but that's creative. But then there's people like, for instance, a Polanski, who is just a fucking abhorrent dickhead. But then again, I still really like Chinatown, so I'll be a fucking hypocrite. And then you've got Woody Allen, who has all those problems, but still gets people to work with him. And let's face it, when people say, well, there's no smoke without fire, it's like, yeah, I know, and he's standing there with a fucking box of matches. There's a little bit of that with that. And the thing is, the horrible thing is that the position that I stand with it is, I wouldn't have a beer or a glass of fucking wine with Roman Polanski because I think he'd be a nasty person. And I wouldn't have one with Woody Allen. But you know what? Let's be honest, Gibson's going to be a fun beer. Because you don't know what's going to happen. But you are going to be sat there going, oh, fucking hell, I've just been to get around. And you sit there and you go, what? You go, is he in the bathroom? Yeah. Why? Oh, because the guy behind the counter's Latino. He's going to say something. He's going to say something, isn't he? And you're going to constantly be worried that he's going to say something, but you also know that throughout the night he's just going to be ripping into you, but you aren't going to be able to stop laughing at it, because all of his insults are going to be creative. But they're going to come away from it going, he was a prick, but wasn't he fun? And you know that it's wrong. You know that it's wrong, but you still had a great night. That's what I reckon Gibson is.
Okay.
A great night, but you know he's a terrible person. But he's not a terrible person like fucking Donald Trump's a terrible person, let's be honest, is he? Or is he? We don't know.
Who knows?
Do I just not want to admit it? Rick Kidd, at Rick J. Kidd, another one from him. Best actress of this generation. He's given examples: Jennifer Lawrence, Emily Blunt, Emma Stone, Brie Larson, Amy Adams, or somebody else.
This generation, I mean, I don't know. If we're talking American, yeah, I mean, well, Amy Adams is certainly up there. I think she's due an Oscar.
Yeah, she has to be up there, yeah. I mean, I think it's a great kind of little, era for actors. There's a lot of really, good female actors out there that can carry movies on their own. You could also throw, what's her name? Zero Dark 30. Shit.
Jessica Chastain.
Her name's gone from my brain. Jessica Chastain into that mix among there. There's a few others that escape me right now that you could toss into the mix with those. But it's great that we're living in a sort of a world at the moment where we're constantly told, that it's that actors don't get the due and everything like that. But it does show that it's a changing, it's a shifting problem, that it is shifting to the positive. We talked earlier about a movie, Gun the Train, which was sold as an Emily Blunt movie. That was sold as an Emily Blunt movie. She was the star. She was on all the posters, everything like that. Jennifer Lawrence, Passengers. A lot of Jennifer Lawrence movies, Passengers has been sold as, as much as Chris Pratt, it's more been sold for Jennifer Lawrence within that. Emma Stone will be as big, if not a bigger marketing thing on the La La Land than Ryan Gosling will be. Amy Adams is selling, a few movies, in the next coming months. She's got the language one with what's it?
Arrival.
Fucking Arrival. She's got Arrival, and she's got the Tom Ford one, the movie character night titles. Not so normal ones. They're both been sold as Amy Adams movies. Despite the fact that, they've got notable male actors in there. It's not so normal. It's been sold as a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. It's been sold as an Amy Adams movie because people will go and see them. It shows that it is shifting towards that, and it's great that it is shifting towards the time where you will go and see an Amy Adams movie or a Jennifer Lawrence movie or things like that. It's cool. You could throw, I know she's slowed down, but Carey Mulligan seems to be getting into that, but she has slowed down, her output over the past few years. You have a feeling that she'll come in a few years' time, she'll have like 4 or 5 fucking movies out in a year.
True.
So yeah, that's the last of our questions. So, yes, that was episode 180. Anything to add, Ian? Or are we done?
We're done. We're Da Vinciing it the fuck up next week.
We are. We are doing the full fucking Langdon fucking trilogy.
Boom.
Aren't we? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Boom. So am I. It kind of looks like Inferno's going to be awful, but that's fine.
You know what? I hope it is. Because I think the worse that movie is, the more I'm going to enjoy it.
That's fair. Knowing what...
I'd be more worried if people go in, do you know what? Inferno's actually really quite good. I'm going, oh Oh no, why?
Yeah.
Why you say these things? So
1
yeah,
out
I
of
am.
5 in The Guardian.
Do you know what? Good. Fuck you, The Guardian.
Um,
I'm looking forward to watching it I think I'm going to see it on Friday at about just after 6 o'clock.
oh, Robbie Collins
feels like a good
is
time
not a
to see
fan either. Oh, this is.
Oh, well, there's a surprise.
Hey.
I like the guy, but if you could, let's be honest, he was never going to like that movie.
What's old Guy Lodge saying? A refreshingly diverse international cast of consummate professionals, led once more by an increasingly disconsolate-looking Tom Hanks.
They're pulp fucking trashy movies. I don't get why people seem to think they're supposed to have a different grandeur to them. Just because they've got Tom Hanks in them.
They look classy.
That's it. That's it. The problem is, it's not the movie. It's you're going in thinking it's a different fucking movie.
Yeah, agreed. I
You know, that's like going in to fucking Bloodfather and going, oh, I'm going in to watch a moving Mel Gibson drama about him finding his estranged daughter, and having to protect her from the perils of the world. And then going, what the fuck's this? Why is he a biker? You know, that's it. Stop going in thinking you're getting fucking a taut fucking thriller. You're not. You're getting a damn fucking Brown novelisation movie that just happens to star Tom Hanks. Because they've gone, here, Tom, have some money. And he's gone, oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's
I'm like, do you know what? I'm looking forward to it.
Yep, so.
But I'll watch anything, so.
You will.
I will, yeah. And I look forward to the worst things. So yes, so thank you very much for listening, guys. Dudeandthemonkey at gmail.com, at dudeandthemonkey at Ian Loring, at dudefoz, dudeandthemonkey.com. I'll have a bit more content. I've been a bit tardy with putting stuff on there recently, so I'm going to put a bit more on there in the next few days or week or so. So yeah, Ian, have fun at LFF, and we shall hear all about next week.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.